Mm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Awesemo.com Live Before Lock show, where we'll be discussing everything in the world of MLB that you need to know today. There's a lot of big tournaments across the industry. Josh and I are playing in the big one on DraftKings. We're both going to go broke tonight, or hopefully win $100,000, and that would be a lot of fun, I think, and really beneficial to all of you in the live stream. But I am Chris Spags, joined today by the star of this channel, Josh Engelman. Josh, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Just left the dentist. Wasn't bad. I can't complain too much.
Oh, you're not David after the dentist territory, though.
I'm not what?
David after the dentist, that video with the child.
Oh, no. It's just, I had a temporary filling that needed to become a crown, so.
Oh, well, I'm sorry that you're not drugged up off wisdom tooth medicine, because that might have been a fun stream.
You and me both.
We are going to talk about all of the games, all of the weather, all of that stuff. I guess let's talk weather up front while people are streaming in. What are we doing for these two weather games? We both talked about it a little bit before coming on the air. Possibly very important games that are hanging in the air because of weather. What are you doing for the Chicago game? I guess both Chicago games.
I haven't decided yet.
Oh, okay.
I've prepared as if I'm not doing anything different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just because I want to use as much time as I can. That fucking Indians game scares the shit out of me. And I have the Dodgers a lot. And that scares the shit out of me too, but a bit less so. I don't mind too much if I'm going after bats, because I think that the Dodgers game could get in if it just starts late. But the Indians game is kind of wonky because I want bats and Bauer.
Yeah, Bauer to me seems like the best play. I know you guys talked about DeGrom, and you in particular were very all over DeGrom all day throughout content. I still like Bauer the most from a safety and upside perspective. Like, I don't see it that much for Cole. I think Tampa Bay kind of hangs in tougher than people are giving them credit for. And DeGrom, I'm a little afraid of that matchup. I think that he's a great pitcher, but there are a couple bats who can obviously do some damage in cores. So to me, Bauer looks the best play on the board, and I have a lot of them. And if he's not active, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Yeah, I don't like fucking with pitching like that. So, where is it? Like, I have 3% Maeda. You know, I can wait on that until 7:45, and if he's not there, you know, drop down to somebody else. I have 2% Chatwood, so like same sort of deal. If that game's looking wonky, I can move off of it. But Bauer, I mean, I'm either going to have, like, I've got him in for 24% of my shit right now, along with the Indians stack being my primary. I don't know what to do. Luckily, a crunch is quick, so like I'm not really going to make any decisions for the next 45 minutes or so. I think if I had to make my guess right now, I'm going to have almost no Bauer.
Ooh, okay.
And I think that I'll have a very small amount of the Indians.
Yeah, I think
that one's tougher because it starts at 7:10.
Yeah, I'm a little less worried about Bauer than the Indians stack. Like, I think somebody in the chat just said it, and that's sort of where I'm shaking out. That whatever the weather dude on Moto Blinders, I think is who that he's referencing, says that thinks that Bauer is worth the risk. I think that Bauer can get enough in to be useful. And I don't, you know, like, it's just where are you going to go if you're not going to those guys? I just don't feel that good about DeGrom. I personally don't feel that good about DeGrom.
I'm already loaded up on DeGrom, but here's the thing. Okay, so let's say this. What would you say the chances are that that game doesn't happen? Just like ballparking. It's not really an important answer, but just for...
I would say it's probably 50-50 right now.
Okay, so then you should not have Trevor Bauer in your lineup at all.
Why? Now, why is that?
The expected value of Trevor Bauer then is now half of what you'd expect it to be.
Okay. That's Osmo's logic for weather, right? I believe.
Probably.
Because I think he said that once too, like, where you're supposed to downgrade the guy based upon the probability of what the game's going to occur.
If that's 50-50, like, I couldn't have 40 lines of Bauer on DK.
Right.
It's like a percentage or two just in case.
It's probably closer to like 70-30, I would guess. Like, I think George Price, right? It's probably not actually 50-50. So, what, 70% of Bauer getting 28? 20? Yeah, I don't know what you're projecting him at.
I've got him at 26, but even if you want to say 30 and be like super aggressive about it, I mean, if you drop him down to like 22, so that'd be what? 8 of 30, like 25%. I mean, he's like almost not playable.
I feel like you did some Scott Steiner math. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, I am. It's 33 and a third.
Yeah, I think the math gets a little complicated there. I don't know. I like Bauer the most by far of anybody on the slate. Let's talk about if we're going to not play those guys. Just from a game theory perspective, where are you going at pitcher? To me, and I know you're not going to like this, and I don't like it either. I think if you have a guy like Trevor Williams and somebody who is like in the middle price tier, that's a way to kind of get out of it entirely, to get out of that conundrum, get out of the scrambles that people might be having with getting Bauer in or taking Bauer out or maybe even taking DeGrom out. I guess people are talking about the weather there, though I don't think that's a risk. That's sort of where I thought today, is that everybody's talking shit about Trevor Williams all day today. I feel like he's not as bad as people have made him sound today. They're making him sound like he's the worst pitcher in baseball, and I don't think he's that bad. That's sort of where I ended up thinking a little bit today. I was like, try to get to Williams. Even Ian Kennedy, I don't mind. Like, if we're trying to really make a different lineup to avoid this whole mishmash of weather concerns, that's sort of what my thought was.
I've already got twice the field of Trevor Williams, so I need you to pick a different guy.
Okay. Okay. I just remember you mentioning on the live stream this morning, I watched, and you were like very anti Trevor Williams. I don't like any of those guys. I normally really hate Ian Kennedy, but I think that's sort of where I've gone today, is like, I think that's where people aren't going to be going. I think people are going to be really concerned about those high price guys, and none of them are in a perfect spot, I think. But look, the chat's getting angry, but I think this is the kind of thought process you have to have, is that if you want to be contrarian, especially in a tournament with 71,000 people, you got to consider the Trevor Williamses of the world.
I just fucking hate it all. I hate Cologne, Kennedy, Chatwood, Williams. I fucking hate all of those guys today. Ultimately, I just wish Bauer could play because I like the breakdown of my exposure. I just don't know who else to go to. I'm running out of... I'll probably end up with a bunch more Caleb Smith. I'll probably end up with a little bit more Berea because I need to... It's not just about redistributing 24% of Bauer, but it's redistributing $12,400 worth of salary. If I drop to Caleb Smith, I still have to find something to do with the other $4,800. So it's going to open up more expensive stacks. So someone like... I'll end up getting a lot more Mets. I'll end up getting a lot more Diamondbacks. I'll end up getting a lot more... I'm just trying to find teams that are expensive. The high end, the top end of the Angels. So it's got a really big time trickle down effect because of how much salary Bauer has.
Yeah, just people in the chat are talking about Trevor Williams. Here's my case for Trevor Williams. We can move on. Again, this is not something I'm making a hard line stance on. But what we try to do on these live streams is present the different kind of thought that sometimes is required to win a tournament like the gigantic ones that are going on today. And to me, the logic to go to Trevor Williams, not terrible, mediocre xFIP, mediocre K per 9, not a terrible whip, pretty in the middle, closer to the higher end of the middle of the pack for that on this slate. Doesn't give up a ton of hard contact, doesn't give up, he's pretty good at giving up soft contact, and the Brewers do strike out. So these would be the logic points I would use to say why Trevor Williams is maybe not as bad as he seems, and the fact he's $5,000, and the high-end pitchers are risky. So that's all I'm saying. What else are you looking at tonight? You're a big Andrew Suarez guy, so what is he one of your mainstays?
I do have a lot of Suarez, yeah. Suarez, Cole, DeGrom, McCollus, Pivetta, Bauer, Greinke.
Okay.
I'm with the field today. Everything seems to be pretty balanced. I'm honestly really surprised at what we have our rankings for the Indians and Bauer. It's like we're not expecting any weather issues, and that surprises me. So,
I mean, on
Alex,
one of the
me on Slack.
on one of the lineup sites, it is currently not a weather concern on Fantasy Labs. Whatever, we like them. I like them at least. They have them as not being a weather concern right now. It's a green light game for them.
Get the fuck out of here.
So that might be why.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around it. You're not the first person that said something like that. It came up in the chat this morning, but like, by all accounts, it looks like it's going to rain. I don't know.
I saw some different like Twitter reports too saying that it might like rain, or no, the risk is lightning there more than rain. The Cubs game is more of a risk of like rain coming later in the game, I think, and kind of not leaving. I believe is what I read. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read, is that there's like a lightning risk more so for the Indians.
I don't know. I don't know how to balance it today.
Well, a lot of people.
It's in a really bad spot considering I have more Indians than anything else, and Bauer is arguably the best option on the board. I don't like that. We'll go back and talk about pitchers more, obviously, because what else we're going to talk about. Let's talk about stacks. The Brewers are one. Obviously, we're talking about a lot if you're going the other way with Trevor Williams. Which again, I think if you were to play Trevor Williams, make sure you have a few Brewer stacks at the very least. Or obviously limited exposure to Trevor Williams would be the best. But what Brewers are you stacking to? And are the Brewers your top stack? And where else are you stacking? Brewers are third for me, although that you could just as easily say they're second. I've got a load of Brewers. Kane, Yelich, Braun, Thames, Hernan Perez. I like it all. I mean, they're just grading out really well.
I don't love Hernan Perez. I'd probably go VR over him, I think. But I'm with you on that part of the stack. Like I think the Milwaukee stack looks good. Just some of those K rates, I think, make me think that maybe, and as a team, they do strike out more than league average. There might be some wiggle room there for Williams to do something. But that said, the Milwaukee stack looks really good, especially the top four guys. I think would be must-haves for me. Let's see. Thames, Kratz. I don't like Kratz at all. I feel like people just want to take the cheap catcher. He's not a good hitter. I wouldn't play Kratz.
I've got 10% Kratz.
So, I mean, just to say the reasons why I wouldn't play Kratz. On base percentage, 195. Strikes out 33% of the time versus a righty. BABIP is 220. WRC plus, the runs he's creating, 19. Pretty bad numbers across the board for Kratz. I don't love him.
220 BABIP tells me that he's been unlucky.
But 195 on base percentage.
Yeah, add 80 points to that, and it's 270.
All right.
Wait, who are we talking about now? Eric Kratz?
Eric Kratz? Yeah.
He's hitting 345 and 32 plate appearances. I don't even care what his stats are.
I'm looking at his 2016 to 2018 numbers, so that would be.
Yeah, I mean he's got a 257 career on base percentage. He's not very good.
So I don't know. What sample size? What sample size do you recommend using? Because I've been using the last 3 seasons, and like this season and the past 2. You're going with smaller sample size?
No, absolutely not. I mean that works. 3 works for me.
Okay. Because I know Jake was just doing this year, and we had like one disagreement about one guy, and I was like, and couldn't figure out why, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I only used this year." I didn't feel like that was enough of a sample size to go off of.
No, not at all. I mean, even Kratz's last 3 is only 130 plate appearances. Like none of that shit's relevant.
Got it. All right. Well, I still say I would not go with Kratz, and I personally, there's another catcher I like who I'm waiting for the lineup to be confirmed. I like Buster Posey a lot as being just my catcher for pretty much everything. I don't know. Like I think he looks really good to me versus Caleb Smith. He's got on base 400% of the time, so I'd rather go to a guy like that than Kratz. So I feel like people are just going to try to stack up and get those at bats, and I don't see it for Kratz.
I'm about to do my first crunch of like muting my likelihood of having those games because I have no idea how it's going to look once I do this.
All right, so yeah, let's see what you're shaking out at.
I dropped it down to 20% chance of both of those games not happening, so we'll see how that affects everything. Ultimately, I think I'm going to play it safe and just pull the plug on those guys, except for probably like 2 or 3%.
Any preference? Any preference between Caleb Smith and Pavetta on FanDuel?
Pavetta.
And how about Suarez and Barria also on FanDuel?
Suarez.
Yeah. I don't mind Barria. So I didn't mind Barria in the beginning of the day, and I kind of came off them because I think there's some things to fear on the Diamondback side. I think the top 3 of those guys on that batting order are a little tough matchups for Barria, and Barria is not a fantastic pitcher. But I'd still probably go Suarez. I think Suarez is maybe a little safer than Barria. I don't mind Barria though. I don't think he's terrible. How do I get Moustakas and Beltre in my lineup on DK? I would assume you don't.
Just click that plus sign next to their name.
Well, you can't have both those guys. They're both third basemen. So unfortunately, you have to choose.
Oh, yeah. Then you don't.
Martinez and Azuna versus Pavetta. Pavetta's been bad. I don't have any Cardinal stacks tonight. I didn't see it as being a matchup, and I was very anti Pavetta last time versus the Rockies. And I staked my flag on that one, and Pavetta ended up having a bad day. I think I actually like Pavetta more than I dislike him today.
Cardinals are 4th for me.
Really?
Yeah, we have them at 6th.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the Cardinals tonight, personally. But that's me. FanDuel main is locking at 6:45 today, FYI. All right, so there you go, FanDuel people. You got 23 minutes left. Doesn't affect me in any way, but I want you all to know and care. Chubster, can you explain your home run model a little, or is it for Chub eyes only?
Oh, no, it's just a regressed home run rate for each individual hitter up against the pitcher they're facing and how often they give up home runs. So it's nothing crazy. Home run rate for the hitter times home run rate of the pitcher divided by league average home run rate.
There you go. And it's been working well for Josh for the most part recently. So steal it and use it for yourselves. How's Cleveland weather looking? The same as it was when we talked about it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I don't know. Not great. I mean, it's definitely not a good sign right now.
No delays or anything yet, so we're going. We are going.
150 lines. I still got Bauer 25% of the time, which is fucking terrifying right now. I'm shook on this day right now. Tell. It's not great. It's really not.
I don't know. I still feel like Bauer is going to be my guy. I'm not going to fuck with it while we're on the stream. But if he's ruled out or if that game is a problem, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Okay, so I gave him that 20% haircut, and now I have Bauer 1 point ahead of DeGrom. So Bauer is still grading out fine, but it pulled out all of my Indian stack. I have no Cubs and no Dodgers.
Okay. I like the Dodgers too much to take them out right now. Like, I think I'm willing to kind of sit on them and see what the weather shakes out. Our boy Jake, the baseball savant, Hari, says we'll know whether the Cleveland game starts at delay at 6:45 Eastern. So hang on there. We'll tell you as soon as we know.
Sorry.
Or if you see it in the chat, drop it in there and tell us. See any good beat reporters? Cardinals 8 righty batters. Pavetta's my favorite GPP play. All I know is the Cardinals didn't look that great to me, and I thought Pavetta looked pretty good. I'm not playing a ton of them though, so I'm not putting my money where my mouth is.
I've got a ton of both of them.
Okay. Well, I mean, 150 lineups. I feel like on this, especially if you're ruling out a couple teams, you gotta have some of these dudes.
Yeah, I have a lot of Cardinals and a lot of Pavetta. So if that game goes to shit, I hope it goes big time one way or the other. Where Pavetta no or Cardinals 15 runs.
We got Jake in the chat, so you want to do home run picks real fast? Even though I would assume let's not pick Cubs and Dodgers.
Yeah, we can.
Who do you have? Do you have anybody that you already have your guy, I think, in mind, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Eric Thames. I don't love it as like a one-off home run pick, but I'll take Eric Thames because I think he looks really good today.
I'm going to take This is tough. I really didn't love anybody as a home run pick. Nobody kind of jumped out in a way that I was happy with. I'm going to go with Andrew McCutchen, though.
Okay. I don't mind that.
Hopefully he's not ruled out because that lineup is still not available for the Giants. But, yeah.
Okay, so today is Monday, June 18th. I've got Eric Thames, Chris has Andrew McCutchen. What you got, Jake?
Jake, if you're in the chat, drop your home run pick. Boy, yeah. Oh, Corey Dickerson. Okay.
Done.
Targeting old Julius. Jake going against Julius. Not the best. Mazzara over Gallo. Yeah, what about the Rangers tonight? The Rangers are going to be a popular stack.
They are.
Obviously, that game I think is the highest team total combined between the two. Yeah, where are you looking tonight? I didn't love the Rangers stack, but
I actually don't have a ton of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I have 8%, but we're projecting them to be 15% of the aggregate ownership, which is the clear number one. I'm way under that.
So that one and Kansas City, I don't like Kansas City either as a stack.
Oh, I love KC.
So who are you stacking on KC?
Everybody. Whole fucking team. Now, Merrifield, Gordon, Moustakas, and Perez in heavy amounts. And then you could use any one of those four guys, or like any three of those four, plus another guy if you wanted to do like a four-man stack. I'd rotate around those guys a lot.
Okay, the team total, I get it. I just don't see anything on that side that made me want to go there. It's like, Merrifield looks okay. I think Gordon looks okay. Moustakas looks okay. But, like, Perez, under 300 on base percentage. Everybody at the bottom of the order, like Dozier's 265, Alcides 272, Herrera 154, Almonte 297, Mondesi 218. Like, I think Cologne could actually have a not terrible game today. The team total obviously is the team total, and Cologne does suck pretty bad. Not a place I'm trying to play, but I think a lot of people are going to play the Royals, and I just don't think they have good players to like actually beat up on Cologne.
No, I mean, I understand that. Like, they're not a powerful stack by any means.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are going to go there just because of the total. And to me, like, I feel like I've taken that bait a couple times too many lately where I've been like, oh, yeah, you got to play the Royals because they're cheap and they're like a pretty good value and all that stuff. But Nationals lineup is confirmed, by the way, if anybody needs that for FanDuel. Yeah, I don't know. Like, both those teams, I feel like are going to be very popular tonight, and I'm actually not crazy about the stacks on either side.
I'm not crazy about this nonsense weather. Stop playing baseball games outside. It's 2018. Fucking lid on your stadium.
Just a heads up for everyone playing FanDuel tonight. Yeah, Alex, we already dropped that before, but just as a reminder, yes, the lock for FanDuel is at 6:45 Eastern. So PSA, get your lineups in early. Chris, you never play FanDuel. No, I don't play FanDuel. No real reason besides I learned to play on DraftKings, and I don't really care enough to do both, and it's more effort than I want to put in personally. But and I'm a DraftKings guy. I'm always brand loyal to everything. I have all Apple products. I have all Nike things. Well, actually, that's not true, but generally, a Diet Coke guy. Not going to FanDuel. Texas with the wind blowing out. I don't care about the wind blowing out in that game. I just hate those hitters, all of them. Every single hitter in that game, I hate.
I mean, I like them. I like the Rangers quite a bit, just not as much as the public.
I would take the Rangers over the Royals, but I still don't like them as much as some other teams. That said, with the Dodgers possibly being off the table, maybe I'll end up doing that. Ugh. I don't like that I feel like about all these games for the most part.
This is an awful feeling today.
Not a great slate for a gigantic tournament.
I love the slate if this weather would go away. I absolutely love this slate today. I think it's set up perfectly, but it's just I don't want to lose money because of like Mother Nature. I want to lose because I'm a moron. I don't like when things are taken out of my hands.
Would you go VR and Rosario or Hernan Perez and Jurickson Profar on DK?
Probably Hernan and Profar.
Probably that for me too, but yeah, it's not one I'm doing personally though. I like VR the most out of that foursome. Thoughts on Anderson tonight for an SP2? I don't mind Anderson. I don't think the Mets are that good. I think they're getting the cores upgrade, but like the bats on their side don't scare me a ton. Josh, what do you think about Tyler Anderson?
I don't have him.
Wow. All right. So then, who are you stacking on the Mets side?
Like the whole team.
Really? Okay.
Lots of Asdrubal Cabrera, lots of Wilmer Flores, lots of Rosario, and then decent amounts of Nimmo, Frazier, Conforto, Mesoraco.
To me, if I were to stack the Mets, I would go with them as like the 3 part of a 5-3 stack or a 4-3-1. I like Cabrera, Frazier, Flores, but Nimmo I don't see it for. I mean, he just doesn't have the power versus lefties. Strikes out a lot more versus lefties. Conforto similar. Like I just don't see it for anybody besides the 2 through 4. So I'm not crazy about that. And I think there's a world where Anderson could be okay. It's not. If you're trying to go with a play based on Vegas, and that's not a play I would go to because the Mets total is pretty scary.
Mr. Anderson.
I like Tyler Anderson. I feel like I played him a couple times and he's been competent at least once, and I'm okay. He's not on my shit list personally.
He's good.
Josh, thoughts on FanDuel cheap stacks tonight?
I don't have any of our, at least my ownership in here. If we're looking for cheap stacks, I'd say Brewers, Royals. That's probably it.
Thoughts on the Houston stack tonight? I think the Houston stack looks great, and I think obviously them being a beneficiary of not having to worry about weather with the roof closed is probably a positive. And I think Stanek too is also like a pretty terrible like opening pitcher, even if they are only getting a couple at bats with him. So I like Springer, like the top 4 guys, and then some combination of the guys after that. How much Houston do you have?
Like an average amount compared to the field. I mean, the top 4 guys are always playable. They're just expensive. Nice. It makes it a little bit easier to get to the Astros if you fade this Indians game because you won't be using the salary on Bauer any longer. So it's a natural pivot if you're going to cheaper pitchers to go to someone like the Astros.
Makes sense. Bauer and Asdrubal Cabrera or Cole and VR on DK? For me, that's Bauer and Asdrubal. Assuming the weather thing that we're okay,
Cole
right?
And VR, I can't imagine going the other direction.
Oh, okay.
I'm still okay. Not in like I can't. I certainly can't recommend it.
Okay. I'm still playing Bauer. For now, I'm still playing Bauer, so for me, it's still Bauer and Cabrera. I think Cabrera is one of the better plays, like overall today. And he's the one part of the Mets stack I feel pretty confident about. So I would go Bauer and Asdrubal. Thoughts on Caleb Smith as a pitcher tonight?
I think he looks really good. He's really good at missing bats. I'll be above the field on him.
I like the Giants. I think the Giants are an interesting stack tonight. But I could see playing Smith. I mean, the total isn't that scary, and Smith isn't a bad pitcher. So I don't hate it, but I like the Giants more. I think that middle of the order for the Giants looks really good. Josh, what is currently your number 1 DK stack?
The Brewers.
Ooh, okay. Brew Crew.
But you can just as easily say the Royals. They're separated by... Well, you know what? It's easier to say this. It's the Royals.
Sneaky stacks on FanDuel. Do you have one on FanDuel? Because I have one, I think, in general that I'm willing to put out there. But FanDuel's okay. That works.
And if we're talking sneaky, I think the Nats would be a sneaky stack. We're not projecting any real ownership to them.
I think the Phillies are a little interesting to me tonight. Mikolas doesn't get hit very hard, but I like that top part of the order for the Phillies. And I don't know. Like Mikolas has been solid, but to me, it just seems like Philly can do some damage to him. So I think if I were to go with one that's lower owned that I have like maybe 1 or 2 lineups with, I think right now, I would say the Phillies. I'm not terribly confident in it, but we're just throwing darts, I think, at this point without weather and all that stuff. So
I don't have any Phillies.
there you go. So the Phillies guaranteed to be a great stack tonight. Thoughts on the Miami top 3?
God, I don't even know who the fuck it is. Miami, Marlins. I have 0 Marlins, so I'm going to say that I'm not a big fan of Castro, Anderson, Real Muto.
I don't mind that top 3, and I could even see going down to Maben. I think that works. I wouldn't take anybody in the bottom of the order. They all look pretty bad to me. But I still like the thing with Suarez. I like Suarez. I always play Suarez a lot. He gives the most medium contact on the slate, and also gives up 40% hard contact. And he also has just been – he always fucks up every time I start him. And I start him every time he plays. And he always goes to shit in the 4th inning. And it's like clockwork. And you can look at it, and he'll have like, whatever, 12, 14 points in the first 3 innings. And that 4th inning is going to go to dog shit. So I don't mind a Marlins stack. And I already feel like an idiot for playing Andrew Suarez. That's how I feel about Andrew Suarez.
Yeah, I just generally don't like the Marlins. They grade out as the 2nd worst option for me, ignoring like ownership and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going against them. I'm not going against Suarez a ton, but I do see where there's a logic in doing it, and I just don't. I want to keep wanting to believe in Suarez, and he just keeps breaking my heart.
Don't breaking my heart.
I wouldn't if I tried. That's Andrew Suarez is not saying that part to me. He doesn't sing the "I wouldn't if I tried" or "I couldn't if I tried." Pittsburgh stack tonight for Mr. Stealth. Not for me, but Josh.
Yeah, I'm like double the field on the Pirates.
Okay, and Jake's home run pick Corey Dickerson is in that lineup. So you like the baseball savant. That is a guy to go with.
Harrison, Dickerson, Marte would be where I'm focusing. Holy shit, we've got 240 people in here trying to be like, yo, are the Indians playing?
Yeah, to be clear, we do not have any sort of a weather crystal ball to consult or a weather machine, like a Dr. Evil style one. So sadly, we don't know. But Josh is currently not playing Indians, and I'm riding it out to the ground.
Yeah, I don't. Yep. It's not. The last time we had this discussion, Jake played the Yankees and the game got canceled. So.
Hold on, Josh. Both my pitchers didn't start the other night. How do I avoid that, and why didn't you tell me not to play them?
Yeah, I would probably just try to take them out next time, but I know that's a troll question.
Okay, that's what I figured. It was a callback to yours.
Yeah.
To your. Josh, you trying to hit that 100K tonight? We are both in the DK tournament, but Josh is your max entering, correct?
I am, and yes, I am. Both questions are yes. I am trying to hit that 100K, and I am max entering. Today is not the best day to do that for my sanity and my anxiety. So that bong rip after the podcast is going to be just superb. It's going to run me right into the ground.
Who are you? Actually, are you pivoting more to Cole now that your Bauer is not as much a consideration for you?
Not really. I'm just spreading it out. So I'll have Suarez, Smith, Cole, DeGrom, McCollum, Pivetta, and Greinke, and then I'm just using everybody else as sort of filler.
If the Indians don't play, who would you move your bat stack to? I would assume price-wise the Astros might make the most sense.
Yeah, the Astros have climbed quite a bit. I've got a decent amount of the Pirates and the Diamondbacks, which I need to just start tweaking. What else am I heavy on? Well, I'm really heavy on Royals and Rangers, which shouldn't be a huge surprise, and then the Brewers.
Let's see. How about Mikolas and Greinke on DK?
Love it.
Or would you go DeGrom and somebody cheaper?
I mean, I have 20% plus of everybody that was just named, so it's hard for me to not say yes to that first two.
Okay, that's fair. I'm gonna put in an Astros stack right now with my one remaining lineup. And let's see, anything else good? What's the name of that weather guy? We don't discuss that guy.
I mean, I like him. He seems to do a hell of a job. Nobody else has that like skill set out there.
True. I don't follow him.
I've never had any real interactions with him, but I mean, it seems like he's carved out quite the spot for himself. He's like the weather guy of DFS, so good for him, man.
Better than being like a local weather guy in Toledo. I think that's
he doesn't play either. I could be wrong about that.
Huh. It's an interesting approach.
I mean, I guess if you're just like balls deep in meteorology, maybe you just don't give a shit. Maybe you just want to be the best meteorologist ever. DFS is just a byproduct of it.
He just likes being able to do the weather in all the different spots, probably. He's like, ooh, it's such a joy to cover so many weather places at once.
I mean, nobody gives a fuck about a meteorologist otherwise, so I guess take what you can get, right?
Yeah, it's a good point. Let's see. Would you go Elvis Andrus or Ahmed Rosario? No site given.
Probably Rosario.
Andrus seems a little riskier, but I actually do have a little bit of Andrus, and I do not have any Rosario, so I would go Andrus, I guess. Can you go over games that should be avoided because of weather? Just joined, sorry. Yes, Josh is currently avoiding the Indians game. You're also avoiding the Cubs game, right?
For the most part, yeah. I have little bits of Bauer and the Indians bats. But, I mean, I'm way, way under the field.
I'm still riding out that Indians game. And I'm actually still riding out both, but I would probably get off the Dodgers game if I were not doing a live stream right now. Let's see. You guys do home run yet? Yeah. What? I don't even remember who I picked. It's been one of those days. Josh, who was your pick again? Thames?
Yes.
Okay. Oh wait, is the Giants lineup in? No, the Giants lineup is in. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Kelby Tomlinson's in the lineup. Thank God. I don't have to scrap all of my stacks.
Let me double check mine quick.
Big Kelby Tomlinson guy today for no real reason.
Ozzy Mac. Kelby dropped. Panic. Oh, so Sandoval is in and Hansen is out.
Fine, I wasn't going Hansen, so I'm all right with that.
I have 6% Hansen, so... No bop tonight. Stop a doobop.
Pablo's. Hold on, let me just get this. Keep going. Pablo Sandoval, Kelby Thompson. All right.
Hanson's the part of like one of the best Family Guy quotes ever.
Which one?
I want to say they're all in like a water tank or something like that. All like Peter and Quagmire and Joe in Cleveland. They're talking about chicks in some way, and they ask about like banging a chick. And Quagmire's like Taylor Hanson. And they're like, you know, Taylor Hanson's a guy, right? And they're like, he's like, no. It's great.
I do remember that. I do remember that quote now. He is a beautiful little boy.
They were handsome, female-looking men. Look, I really like them as they step their game up. They're like exactly what people love now. Just three dudes playing acoustic guitars and shit. They would kill in like the bar scene in Wilmington.
I don't know that they were like talented enough to like actually be sustainable. I'm not sure about that.
They dropped that Penny and Me track after they like grew up. That's on my thumbs up list on my phone. It's good stuff. I like it.
Let's see. It says no rain in Cleveland till 8:30. Look, I'm still riding out Bauer. I see no reason why not. If another website that we like or that is technically a competitor but I like says that it's green, I'm gonna trust that site. I think that's how I feel. See, tell us in the chat. But are you guys playing Bauer in the chat right now, or are you getting him out? Let's take a consensus. If Josh has to do lineup, so I won't ask him to do a poll. But are you taking your Bauer out, or are you keeping your Bauer in? Forget the chat's kind of on a delay, so it's not the best response time.
So I'm watching the radar in Cleveland right now.
This is what happens. This is the degeneracy, I feel like, of the sport, where it's like you're watching the weather. I don't know. All right. Bauer. People taking Bauer out. DeGrom in. And it feels like it's close to 50-50 that people are playing him or taking him out. I'm with you guys. I mean, you guys are keeping him in.
I just wish the game didn't start at 7 o'clock. So we just have more time.
Right. That makes sense. Godwin Asamoah asked me, you don't like the Cubs game. I don't think we like it because of weather right now. I think Josh is more concerned about the weather in that, and the site that I'm checking also is more concerned about that. So
I'm just naturally like a pessimistic person when it comes to the weather, because there's no way to save it. Once it's dead, it's dead. And like, it's not like basketball where like let's say there was weather potential in basketball. If you roster LeBron James, you still think you're going to get like 40, 50 fantasy points. But like, you can roster Trevor Bauer. This is baseball. Like, this can shake out however. He can get rocked in the first inning and it doesn't matter. So with the uncertainty of the weather and the uncertainty of the game, like, that's what keeps me away from going heavy on these things, because it's not as if these guys are just naturally consistent.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, don't tell people that in the NBA that there aren't weather concerns, because I was somebody who was in a great shape before that one Pelicans-Pacers game got rained out in the Smoothie King Center.
I got popped by that fire in Mexico 2 years ago.
So there you go. We got 2 weather concerns in basketball. There's a precedent there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm with you on that. I think it makes sense. I think there's a degree of risk, and if there is more risk, then it probably makes sense to not play Bauer. I just like Bauer so much more than everybody else that I don't. I don't know. I find it hard to not play him, and I'm going to keep riding it out.
Yeah, as I'm watching the weather or the radar, I'm getting like a little bit more confident that Bauer can go. So I just bumped him up to 12%. I think that's about as high as I can go right now.
All right. We're getting better. So there we go. I'm not taking out my Bauer.
I can't unload on it. I don't think that he's... Like, I think that him and Cole are a coin flip, and I'm happy with DeGrom at that price point. So I'd rather just be confident that I'm going to get those guys to run out there. If Bauer goes crazy, then he goes crazy. Like, it just wasn't meant to be for me.
All right.
But for it to hurt me, like, I need Bauer to play really well and for the game to happen. Every other scenario benefits me, so I'll take the chance.
That's funny. Somebody talked about the Pelicans game where they let cheerleaders do backflips on the rainy floor, but it was too wet for Anthony Davis. That is a good point. I saw I went to brunch yesterday and saw a little girl doing a cartwheel on a marble floor, like in a lobby. And I was like, that's not smart. Like, that is a double whammy of potential, like, spinal concussion injuries. Don't let your child do cartwheels.
One drop of water on that marble and that girl's going to eat shit.
Or just like sweaty palms, or just like marble. Like, it's not great.
There's no reason people don't normally do that stuff on marble.
Yeah. So there we go. Don't let your child slip on marble. That is the key takeaway of the day. Let's see how much Tyler Anderson are you playing, Chubbzilla?
That's where we're at now. 7% right now.
Okay, I'm all right with it.
Gonna have to be where I'm at.
Sorry for a tough question. Would you go Asdrubal, Flores? God, I hate this. Is too much, Matt. It's not happening, Matthew Protowell. It's not happening. Sorry. You can't give 4 guys on both sides of an either or. I think that's too many. I'm setting them.
Glad the game's not being played here. I don't know if you heard the thunder again.
Oh.
Thunder. I hear the thunder.
Apparently
today's the singing show. In case you didn't get the memo.
It's our musical episode. We don't do enough. Oh, that's right. I got to take out Jock Peterson. I like Jock Peterson so much, too. That hurts. Joke?
I just like saying it like Young Jock at the beginning of It's Going Down. It's going down. There it is again. We're singing. Now I'm rapping. Word.
To be clear, there's not usually this much singing on the show if you are a person who's tuning in for the first time. Also, if you're a person who's tuning in for the first time, please subscribe to the channel so you'll know when we go live, and like the video as well. We do a lot of these every single day, so please subscribe, do stuff.
Yeah.
Karaoke DFS, not the worst idea. We'll do a singing special someday with our beautiful places.
I've only done karaoke once in my life, and it went really bad.
Really? You only once?
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Huh. I like karaoke.
I don't. Because I always want to do songs that I like, and they're not naturally good karaoke songs, which is what I learned the hard way in college. Also, I was barely able to stand when I tried doing it, and I didn't get a lot of crowd participation.
Yeah, I could see you being sloppy drunk wouldn't be the best to encourage the crowd to move along with you.
You couldn't guess the song that I did if I gave you 100 guesses right now.
You know what? I won't do it then. What's the song?
I tried to do Will Smith Miami.
Were you in Miami?
No. I was in a shitty basement bar at college.
No. All right. You brought a sense of Miami to that wood-paneled room, I'm sure.
Like, I know the song really, really well, and I figured that would translate, but it's so much faster than you realize when you have to be responsible for all of it. And I just ate gobs of dicks until people stop paying attention.
Fair enough. 8,100 and under on DK pitcher. Who would you go with?
8,100 and under?
Yeah.
Caleb Smith. No. Nick Pivetta.
I would probably go Barria. If we're trying to use up that money, I would probably go Barria. I think
3% of him.
I think Barria is one of those plays who's like I think a classic kind of GPP play. He's either going to get rocked and the Diamondbacks are going to have a good night, especially like Jake Lamb, Goldschmidt, Descalso. I think all those guys look pretty good. Or he's going to have an okay night, and because the Diamondbacks strike out a lot. It all depends on how those bats are doing. Are they striking out tonight, or are they doing all right? So I'd say for a GPP play, Barria. Let's see. Suarez, do you like the Mets? Godwin Asimov has asked this many times. Godwin, often your answers will be earlier in the video when we discuss these things at length. But we can talk about it again. How much do you like the Mets overall, Josh?
I'm like neutral with the field. I've got 9% total exposure, and we're projecting 10. So, by all accounts, it's the same.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind him, but whatever. Suarez is good. Suarez is not good. Suarez is not good. I can say that as a person who's watched his games and felt his wrath. I don't think he's good. He's passable sometimes.
I've got a lot of them.
He is just remember this. Like, he's going to start hot. He's going to have 3 really good innings, and then the 4th inning he's going to give up a home run to, like, I don't know, Anderson or somebody, and then you're going to be like, what the fuck happened? He's going to give up 2 more, and all of a sudden your day is going to be like Suarez at 15 points, which might be okay, but that's how the day is going to go.
What did you say? 15?
15 would be my guess.
I've got him for 17. I was going to say maybe. I'm really excited to paste this in here because I have a feeling that I'm still right, but let me check. Yeah, so Andrew Suarez is the only A value pitcher on DK.
He often is. He often is.
That's exciting to me.
LJ084. Yeah, I don't mind them, whatever. LJ084, when you answer the same questions 50 times throughout a live stream, sometimes you just have to say, yeah, I don't mind them, but whatever. At this point, people are going to play or they're going to play. You got 10 minutes left. So it is who it is. Or it is what it is. Anderson will not pay dividends tonight. Very possible.
I hope he pays no dividends. Unless it's the lineup that I have, because I barely have them.
I'm okay with him paying marginal amounts of dividends. But I don't know. I don't love that Mets stack. I don't really like, they're usually, to me, there are like a handful of stacks that jump out and I really end up loving. And there hasn't been a single one tonight that's currently not weather contingent that I love. And that's how I feel about the slate. So that explains my lack of enthusiasm. I don't know what that question is. Firing 1 bullet at the 100K, should I throw a like walk or dong Joey Galeo in that lineup?
Yeah, Spencer, you're going to need to run that through Google Translate or something.
like what does a like walk even mean?
I I'm going to assume that was just an autocorrect because it capitalized, but I don't know.
Joey
I also, honestly, I don't care.
Joey Galileo looks fantastic tonight. I agree. Mets stack Flores, Rosario, Batista. Not the part of the lineup that I would stack personally.
Flores, Rosario, Batista.
Flores, Cabrera. Flores.
Yeah. Oh, Batista's not in the lineup.
Yeah, yes. Jay Bruce was out, so Batista's back in.
When the fuck did that happen?
It happened like right after they announced the lineups. Then they took Jay Bruce back out.
Lovely.
Batista's in the 7 hole.
Yeah, you're right. I must have missed that one.
So to me, like if you're stacking Mets, it's the Cabrera, Frazier, Flores part of the lineup. I don't like Batista. I don't like Rosario. I don't like anybody after 5, or anybody 5 and on. Let's see. Elvis or Profar tonight?
Probably Profar. Nope. Elvis. What? Yeah, Elvis.
I think it's Elvis for me. I worry a little bit about his elbow, but it is Elvis for me.
He'll be having a whole lot of shaking going on.
If you're gonna break into song, that was the way to do it. That was the way to do it.
I should have done some Elvis shit, but I just got too much going on in my brain.
Aaron D calling a Brandon Nimmo dinger. So Brandon Nimmo's isolated power versus lefties, 0.074.
Yeah. He's way down the list for me, and also highlighted in red because of the lefty-lefty matchup. So,
yes. He strikes out 37% of the time. So I would not make Brandon Nimmo my personal home run pick.
That one I wouldn't be one that I really want.
Yeah, no, not my favorite. Matt Duffy hits 50% at least tonight. Like, I assume you mean of his hits, not ownership, because I don't think Matt Duffy's going to end up at 50% owned. I also don't think he's going to hit 50% of his at-bats, but neither here nor there.
Oh, I'm so excited for dinner.
I'm so excited for subbing out lineups whenever we finish here.
I'm not.
Let's see. Chat, you got 7 minutes left for the DK lock, so get your lineups in. Get your weather-dependent lineups in. Is Gorky's a decent value? I'm stacking the Giants quite a bit tonight, and I am not playing Gorky's. So that's how I feel about him. That said, he's an okay play. I don't know where we have him on the rankings, but
he's an A value.
Okay, so he's an A value. There you go.
Yeah, I like him quite a bit.
He's just not my favorite part of the stack, and I often don't go with the leadoff guy if I don't love him, because I'd rather just get somebody who's a little lower owned and possibly fits my criteria more. And for me, that's Kelby Tomlinson, who is a much worse hitter than Gorky's, so what do I know? Let's see. Thames Bomber, that is Josh's pick as well, Juice Man, so you're in good company.
Juice Man?
J-U-S-E, Juice Man.
Yeah, we'll go with my pronunciation.
Who is the cheap pitcher on DK that you would go with? Let's say, who's the guy that you feel most comfortable playing under $6,000?
Let me look. Trevor Williams.
Ooh.
I mean, that's the guy I have the most of, so, like, again, I don't like to lie to people. It's not like I look at this. It's not like I dig into it or anything. It's just, it is what it is.
For me, and this is not a good. I think Josh's pick of Trevor Williams is probably right. I do have a lot of Ian Kennedy because I think I've been wrong about him sometimes, and I'm giving him a shot tonight. Giving him a chance to win my love, and I think he's going to be a low-owned play. We have him as being only 5% owned, and I just don't think that Rangers lineup is that good on the other side. So, hey, got to put your balls on the line sometimes, and my balls are right in Ian Kennedy's hands. What is the origin of you calling Mike Moustakas Moose Tacos?
It's just like, it's not me. It's fucking people call them moose tacos.
Josh, when did you create the nickname Mike Moose Tacos? Moose Tacos.
I will read the Urban Dictionary definition because that was really aggressive. A variation on the moustakas. After removing the baseball bat from the ass, it is then wiped clean on a tortilla. It is sprinkled with cheese and eaten. What's up, chat? How you like that? Would you prefer me to sing instead?
A nice, tasty snack, a moose taco there. I think that make one at home.
A moose taco is when Mike Moustakis jams the bat up his pie hole and then smears it on a tortilla.
Fam or Ozuna on DK? I would go Fam.
Fam.
What's up, Fam? How about Brantley and Correa or Andrus and Trout for DK? I would go Andrus and Trout.
I would go Andrus and Trout because of the safety of them playing.
Yep, I agree. And I think Brantley, even if there's a chance of that game, like Bauer, I think can still do enough in the 5 innings or whatever that he might get if it gets cut short. Losing a couple at bats for Brantley would not be great. So, but I also like Trout. I think Trout's one of the better players on the board tonight. I just don't love an Angels stack. I think Trout is probably my favorite one-off. The best player in baseball is my favorite one-off tonight, guys. Play that.
I hate that I'm going to have to pay attention. Well, I guess I'm not going to have to pay that much attention. The Indians game is going to lock immediately, so.
Dude, the Dodgers are playing in Chicago. What does that have to do with anything? Who was talking about? Okay, I don't even know what that's a reply to, Brittany Seeger. Do you like Caleb Smith tonight?
I don't know how to answer that. Yeah, I guess I do. I have a lot of them.
How many lineups can I get up to without having to use the effing Excel? I mean, you can do as many as you want by hand. I usually do mine by hand, which is why that's why it's hard to do it during a live stream.
I mean, you don't have to use Excel at all to do 150 lines. Not once do you have to open that at all.
Just probably easier. Probably easier that way.
Yeah.
Oh, how about a Dylan Covey Chaucine DK stack at pitcher? I would not play either of those gentlemen.
No, those are not guys that are in play for me.
Sorry,
I don't
Courtney.
have any Covey, and I have 1% Chaucine. They both grade out as E values, so pass. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Brittany Sear, guys, keeps asking about Angels weather due to the Dodgers, but the Dodgers are playing in Chicago. Okay. Got it, Brittany Seeger. Yes, we are worried about the Dodgers. I don't know why anybody would be worried about the Angels. I haven't seen anything about that. Let's see. Got like 1 minute left, so get your shit in. Jive turkeys. Ugh. When does the Cubs game start?
8:10.
Okay, so I'm not totally screwed. Changing this now. Thank God.
Yeah, like if that Indians game started at 8 o'clock, we would all be in much better shape. But
I just want to play the fucking Dodgers.
So do I. I had like 11% of them before, and we were projecting like 2. So
going against stupid Chatwood, like what a great spot. I'm not gonna get to play him now. So upsetting. Whatever. DFS is stupid.
Lock in 14 seconds, everybody. There it is.
All right, guys, get your stuff in. Make sure you get all the right lineups in just to win money, like we're all going to do tonight, I'm sure. And yes, rest in peace, Extensión. I don't even know how to say his name out loud. I only listen to his songs, and I've never heard anybody say his name out loud.
Yeah, I don't know his name or one of his songs. I mean, I'm sure that I know one of his songs, but I can't think of him personally.
He's got a bunch of hits, but he's also a bit of a scumbag. But it's sad that he's dead. No, he's no longer a scumbag, I guess.
I don't speak ill of the dead.
Trout is a total fade tonight. Why would Trout be a total fade? Trout's almost never a total fade. No.
If he were a lefty hitter, it might be a little different.
But he's still he's on base 400% of the time.
To be fair, I have totally faded Mike Trout.
Well, you're stacking and stuff. Okay, his on-base percentage versus righties, 444. Isolated power, 303. BABIP, 346. WRC plus 184, which I think is like 20 higher than the next guy in the slate. So no, Mike Trout is not ever a full fade, but like it's hard to afford him. So, you know, I mean, in that respect, yes, you win. You win HPT.
I never thought that I would say this, but HIV positive transgender, you and I are on the same page.
You guys share a lot in common.
Yes. None of your screen name, but maybe other stuff.
Caleb Smith is solid tonight. Sure. Herrera, I agree with you that Herrera is a good play. I think the Phillies, I should have had more of them. So that's how I feel about that. We're already locked, but what are some of your favorite Yankees bats? I didn't even look at the Yankees today. Josh, how about you?
Didn't look at it.
Yeah. They're not in DK, sorry. I'm only doing DK.
Not enough shit to worry about.
Yeah, I guess anything else?
Out ownership now for the 7 o'clock starts.
There we go.
Mm-mm. 17% Pavetta. I have 24. McCollus at 14.5. I've got 21. Chacin, 11%. Holy shit! Did somebody click on the wrong guy? What the fuck don't I know? Dude. Oh my god. Well, it would be really beneficial for him to get rocked like he's supposed to.
That's a lot of people on Chacin. There's a lot of people on Chacin.
Wow. That is so many Chacins.
To be clear, I didn't have a strong opinion on Chacin. I didn't go against him either. I just thought he's like a middle-of-the-pack guy who I wasn't crazy about.
Yelich, 14%. I'm equal. Hernan Perez, I'm equal. Thames is 11. I'm under. Oh, man.
Trevor Williams. Do you want to guess Trevor Williams' ownership?
2.85.
There you go. You did see that. Yeah.
I got 7.
I don't even know how much I have because I did mine by hand. No Excel at all. Well, besides my actual preparation.
Yeah,
but,
besides the Excel sheet you had.
Yeah. Besides the Excel spreadsheet that I had our tech guy build that I now use religiously, that's changed my life in so many ways. Besides that, I didn't even use Excel. Do you think at FanDuel, Josh, you play both? Do you think FanDuel or DK is softer?
I've made more money on FanDuel this year.
I think FanDuel is softer as well, and that's always been the thing that I've heard. The buzz on the street has always been that FanDuel is a little easier because it has more general consumers, whereas a lot of the DK people tend to be more analytically minded. But I don't know how true that is, but that's always what I've heard.
I've made more money on FanDuel for the 2018 baseball season, so.
All right, I feel like that's enough tonight. I'm gonna go change a bunch of my Dodgers lineups now because I try not to do it while we're on the air. Because that's how attentive we are here at Awesemo.com, a place where you can be a premium member and get all the rankings, all of the ownership projections. Awesemo's articles breaking down who he thinks is going to be the best pitcher or the best stack. There's different stuff going up every day for premium members that we try to bring that value to you. And also you get unlimited access to Josh and me and some access to Alex and, oh boy, and Jake Hari, the baseball savant himself. What a treat. And you probably get those if it's free as well, but whatever. Sign up for premium. Premium will make your life better. Go do it now at Awesemo.com. Anything else you want to add, Josh? I got nothing today. I got to go change some lineups.
What's going on with Puma basketball? Jay-Z is the president?
It's a big get.
Fuck yeah, but they got Ayton and Bagley and shit. So what is happening here?
Got to throw money. I assume there's a lot of bag boys going to all those places and throwing lots of money.
For real. Fair enough.
Or younger cultivated relationships, too. They could have thrown money at them in high school.
Yeah. Ooh, man. Did you see the home run that Juan Soto hit?
I did not.
Go look at that, because he hit a ball out of the stadium, basically.
Did you see Billy Hamilton's catch, by the way? I feel like you mentioned Billy Hamilton once, and ever since I remembered how fast he is, and he had that one diving line drive catch that was unreal.
I didn't see it, but I'll check it out.
It was like on the warning track. There was no way he should have gotten it, and it was actually one of the better catches I think I've seen this year. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow more. Josh will be back for the morning live stream with Jake. Jake will have the night shift podcast coming up. I'll be back tomorrow for the regular Live Before Lock show with Jake, the baseball savant himself. So tune in. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.